Evening, everyone. We're going to call this month's Economic Development Commission meeting to order at 7:07, and we'll do a quick roll call. John Tarbucci?
Here.
Rich?
Here.
Lori? Here? Judy? Here. And Dave?
Here.
Perfect. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, did everyone get a chance to review the minutes from last month's meeting on June 17th? Any discussion? Need a motion to approve the minutes? Motion to approve the minutes.
Looking at it,
All those
Madam
in
Chair, I was not here, so I'll
Abstain, okay. A motion and a second, and all those in favor?
Aye.
One. And then correspondence, no, I don't think we have any correspondence this month. So we're gonna move right on to the director's report.
So zoning permits, 9 Foxen Road, approved for signage for new owner of a retail store, Mundo Express LLC. Application number, this is Planning and Zoning Commission application number 25-20, Linda Reasons, 5 Old Bradley Street, an application for site plan review to allow a manufacturer of cleaning solvents and sealing products within an existing commercial building. Application number 25-21, Nadine Giovanetti, 208 Main Street, so part of this building, an application for a site plan review to allow a retail store to be known as El Thrift Store to locate within an existing commercial space. Application number 25-22, Lillian Ruiz, 913 Foxen Road, an application for a site plan review to locate a salon for skincare to be known as BioSkin within an existing commercial space. Application number 25-26, East Haven Planning and Zoning Commission, a petition for a text change to the East Haven zoning regulations to allow salons and art galleries within the CB2, CC, and CD zoning districts. Public hearing to be rescheduled. And I'd say this one, last but not least, but certainly something that we have talked about many times due to its importance. 990 Foxen Road and 159 Old Foxen Road were sold. Redevelopment of the property should begin soon. The process for the demolition of the 2 buildings has begun. And if I said blight to bright, potentially, that is what I think we're looking at when you take vacant land in and then, a new light, so to speak. According to reports, cleaning up blight and adding green space boosts civic pride and promotes exercise while strengthening bonds between neighbors. I'd like you guys to share your experiences if you've had any when you've seen this happen. I'd like to start with John because you wear so many hats and I think can look at this from different angles. But, we had talked about that as kind of the gateway to the town coming in from New Haven. And from your experiences, John, what do you feel this can do for a community when this happens?
So hopefully, and I think the entire Planning and Zoning Commission feels the same way, we're hoping that this could be a catalyst. There's a lot of different mixtures of zoning up and down Route 80, and we hope, in light of the fact that it is in the gateway right at the beginning of our town, that it's going to economically stimulate some other folks to take a look at their property, maybe consider rezoning. The commission has talked for a number of years now to kind of do a field trip and take a look at the mixture of zoning along Route 80 and hopefully make some changes to get consistency so that we can capitalize on any effect that 999 Foxen Road is going to do. So, as you said, from blight to bright.
Right. And your experiences and thoughts, guys. Lori, as a real estate broker, what have you seen in a given area when something like this happens? Maybe it doesn't have to be to tremendous magnitude, but just what it can do for an area and how it can lead to, I think, more business. Because I think what we're going to see eventually is, moving down Route 80, a couple of other things happen, and I think this will be, as John used the word, catalyst. I mean, that's our hope. But have you seen this in your own career?
Absolutely. Even small improvements to an area, let alone a big improvement like this like everyone said, at the gateway to our town. Small improvements revitalize a neighborhood and just brings a lot of pride to the folks who work there, live there, and it brings other businesses to look around and say, wow, this is really going nicely, and it's maybe easy to do business or to put in a new business and bring more folks in, create more jobs.
And I think, Judy, David, it gives people the opportunity to look around and go, okay, and kind of feel better about themselves and, where they live and so on and so forth. So I don't think in any way that we're overrating what this could mean, and whether it can be the start of even more. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that the more that we can probably slowly, since economic development doesn't happen quickly, but keep bringing in new ideas and new businesses, not only do the neighborhoods and the people around them change, but if we get new ideas in. I was surprised because I've been pushing for arts forever, so I'm shocked to see something on here that has arts. Besides being a realtor, I have an art and framing gallery, so the pottery and all that stuff. So I always visualize places like that, and then I'm always told, oh, no, you can't do that here. But I think the more you can do things, upgrade a little bit, the better for the town, the better for the look, and the better for who will come here to shop and who might come here to live.
Yeah, I think it's the beginning of something big that happens. I really do. And that whole area, I grew up down there, close to. A lot of it's in dire straits, And what I like to see something happen to is where Fox and Park beverages. They're known all over the world. Absolutely. And when you drive down there,
It's amazing what comes out of what is really a small building. And I've spoken to them about renovation, expansion.
right?
Now, they do, and I can understand this, they do have another building in a completely different part of the state, only because when they send trucks out, so all the places they go, well, it doesn't make sense to start in the same area. So, they have it strategically planned that way, and I get that.
They've been there 100 years.
Yeah, I think they know what they're doing
Yeah.
by now.
Well, I think they're a bit frugal, but if now,
Sure.
Somehow we can get state grants or whatever to make that a better area, maybe more will develop, especially what's going to happen at 990.
Yep.
That'd be a good spot to hit next. Try to get something.
And I think we have to change the way things have gone in the past and moving forward. So, as realtors, I think we can appreciate this. So, I was on a Zoom yesterday, and I asked a bunch of there were economic development people on it, there were realtors on it. I said, what if we could provide, be it monthly or bi-monthly, a listing of commercial space available in town. And one of the brokers previous to this I'd spoken to, we've talked in the past about developing relationships with people, and he's going to send me kind of a master list. So once I have a list of commercial space available, send it out to brokers all over the state. And that's an awareness thing, obviously, but also, and I think this has been done in the past, maybe if it was through Chamber of Commerce, where inviting a bunch of brokers, whether it's to a breakfast or to coffee or something, and create, because nothing happens without relationships. It's in everything that we all do. And I think these are ways to get people also to understand this is a new era, and we have to change perceptions of it. You know, that's what I spent a lot of time doing. I was in Foxton today, and, you know, with respect to everything you said, that where nothing happens quickly, it doesn't. So I sometimes feel bad being here talking about the possibilities and stuff, but, you know, it's like an insurance claim. Everything goes slow. And the same thing here. And it would be premature for me to talk about things, but there have been a couple of things in the last, I'd say, 5 days, not even a week, that have come to me that I think, wow, that's really great potential. One of them would be the area that we talked about, a little bit further up. Another possibility here, you know, in the center of town, and then a way to keep a business that wants to stay in East Haven. Their lease was up, and they thought I had connected them. We thought they had something on Frontage Road, and then someone else came in. So now I'm looking for another place to keep. You know, we want to bring in new business, but we'd like to retain the businesses we have, especially if they're good for the town. So
Support our businesses.
we do, no question. But also, I think last time we talked about, and I don't know that they've applied yet, but Abate Pizza going into the area.
Well, that would be great for boxing.
And listen, they're,
I tell you, you know, now they call it what we always called it, our beats. Okay? But what's our beats without Boxing Park?
oh, absolutely.
Okay? I bet there's a lot of people in East Haven don't even know Boxing Park.
You know, even they,
That's the Buckley's one of those.
they would be
That's a
by,
great pizza place.
they would be probably off Silver Sands.
They have the pizza at the lodge right now.
Right, right. And listen, you can never have enough great pizza, I always say. And we do have, you know, I know everyone turns to New Haven and to parties in West Haven, everyone has their favorites, but I'm telling you, there's a few, and I'm a pizza snob. And there are a few, there are several in town that, I just went the other night waiting for town council, meeting, because I have a lot of time between the end of the workday and a meeting, and we went to Toll's, and it was outstanding. You know, we go to the other ones as well, so really like.
That's the only one in East Haven that's a coal-fired oven.
Is that right?
I copies.
You know, I don't want to
And I
leave
think
anyone
that
out
is a
because
great-
I think.
No, but there's a lot of good places.
There are. So, you know, and I think when you start adding places, especially places that people know or the names of, you know, that's a good thing as well. So, you know, I can't always make promises because things do happen so slowly, but I can promise you that we're looking into a lot of different things, and I'm happy with being able to create some of the relationships. And there's someone new that has come to me, but he's not new to the town. And we'll see. He really thinks he can be a tremendous asset. So when you start adding, you know, people like that care about the town, you know, again, a lot of us are from there, and when you have skin in the game, and you know people, you know, I work with a lot of people there, so really excited about that. But I do think,
What about the Rite Aid over here? Is any,
Right.
Rite Aid and Walgreens are,
Yeah.
so the write-in on
Hemingway.
Hemingway.
yeah.
Interesting. I did have a conversation with a company that is in negotiations to
Okay.
go there.
Oh, good.
And I think the end result it might create something elsewhere that we could turn into something else that, you know, I feel we're in need of, such as a restaurant. Walgreens is going to be difficult because parking isn't great. It's a good size. I reached out to ask, you know, if I have a couple of people interested, separate entities, would you break up the building? And
I say no.
I know it's pretty expensive.
Now, is
Right,
that-
John, it's
are they
an
on lease or
expensive
they on
lease.
lease?
So, but I do think the Rite Aid on Main Street would be willing to listen, you know, and so one of the places I told you about that I was trying to save, I reached out to broker that handles that, and he was going into a meeting, so I haven't heard his reaction to it other than a thank you for sending the stuff. And then I have another place that the building owner is on vacation, so I'll speak with him when we get back. So there are a couple of, there's not a tremendous amount of vacancies. People think that there's big ones because all the pharmacies, but I think we can turn those into something pretty good. And, those are happening, unfortunately, across the country. I think last time I talked about 200 and something that were, and a lot of those are becoming health places or dollar stores. And I've read a lot about what they're trying to repurpose as far as those buildings. But I think there's a couple right now that, again, I don't want to get too far ahead, but really this is within 24 hours with one of them that I think we can be really interested. So, patience is the key. I've told you many times, I'm not patient, but I understand that's this life is how it is. And you guys know more than I do in terms of real estate and stuff. So if people can just hang on there, but I think, again, going back to how close we are at 990, and there are steps you have to follow. John talked about those, but I think that is a great, and it's listen, will it be worth the wait? Absolutely, but the wait has been long, and it has not been pretty to see, but I think you've seen a little stuff now, and then the next big step is season's coming down, which is a little tough, because I used to go to Fox Country House when it was that growing up, and a lot of big events in town were held there. So, unfortunately, that's how it is.
Whole business is changing. So, but the good news is we've got a lot of other, and the Planning and Zoning Commission has approved a lot of other applications that are bringing people to town. We've approved probably a dozen or so retail spaces of new businesses starting. We have a high-end wine distributor that's moving from Branford that's going to move to town. That's Murphy Distributors. They're leaving Branford, going to move over to Commerce Street. And also, Sport Haven is coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's good.
And they're going to be here.
I want to ask you, Commerce Street, who's responsible for that property? For what, the landscape, is that responsible?
I don't know. It would be the owner. Yeah, obviously.
Right. Yeah, and there's, we get complaints sometimes that come into the mayor's office, but they're looking at an area or a road that's state-owned. And so I don't expect them to know, and they want it to look nice. I like that the pride factor, and I think coming off exit 52, off 95 south, I think something will, that's state-owned as well. And it was something that kind of, I get off there every morning and I'm looking at it. What can we do? So, again, I don't want to say it's 100%, but a business owner in town has stepped up, and I think it would kind of beautify that. And again, start taking little increments and improvements here, improvements there. At some point, they start to add up. But we're going to need to see, people want to see results. I can sit here forever and talk about it, but hopefully we'll start seeing some of these soon. But again, patience is
I'll tell you, they're doing a nice job is having farmers market on Sundays.
Amy has done.
That's the best I've ever seen.
Amy has done
Wonderful
it.
job.
Yeah,
Listen, there's
And I
no,
know people from other towns are starting to come back.
yeah, and we have, I think maybe twice or almost twice as many vendors.
I went to the
Yeah.
Edgewood Avenue Farmers Market last weekend with my daughter and grandchild, and that was so small and it used to be huge. I was shocked at how few things there were. Yeah. which, you know, I'm guessing combination of the economy and a bunch of stuff that is really surprised, so I thought that ours is larger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's growing
Unique things.
instead,
Yeah, and I think, instead of us complaining about what we don't have, for a minute, appreciate what we do have. And as we continue to hopefully add to that, well, then you're gonna look at things a little bit differently. So we
We have to be positive.
have to be positive.
That
And
new
I-
restaurant on Co Avenue, Mickey's Place.
Mhm.
I heard it's really good.
I think Portnoy was just there too.
Yeah.
Does everybody know?
Yeah, I know who
All
it
the
is.
viewers, yeah, on Barstool Sports. And he gave John and Maria some ink point, something
They
there.
must be doing something right, because you go by there, there's always
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
cars.
really
there.
busy,
Yeah, I heard it was good.
They also hold
I've been
nice
in there, it's
events,
good.
so.
Yeah, right. So again, there's a lot of things and a lot of potential coming up. So hopefully they come to fruition. But I do think if 990 just keep moving along, it'll be soon where everything starts there. And I do expect a bit of a trickle-down effect, with dominoes falling in a positive way.
Yeah, we're gonna get some nationwide known facilities, Five Guys, Chipotle, Starbucks. We plan and zoning approved 2 Starbucks outlets that are gonna go up on Frontage Road, one south and one north, so it's,
And one is full restaurant, the other one is a drive-through.
yeah, northbound is full sit down,
Yeah.
southbound is drive through.
So we're gonna go from none to 3 Starbucks
Yeah, that's good.
Wonderful.
in a short period of time, so.
That's a plus.
Well, yeah, definitely so, because these companies of that magnitude do the demographic studies, they guys do. So in a sense, they're endorsing these things.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And, in those locations, obviously, they see the traffic flow is tremendous. So that works for you and against you. And that's why when people throw out ideas and stuff, yeah, great idea, but, okay, you have to have the room for it. You have to have the right amount of traffic. They do their due diligence. They don't just decide to throw a place anywhere. And they look at other factors, average income. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. Anything else, John, from a ZBA
No,
standpoint?
we have a lot of stuff coming up, and it's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. And the other good thing that I've heard, but I don't think it's widely known, is that Sports Haven actually pays the town.
Yes.
They pay a percentage of their revenue, right?
I didn't know
They pay
that,
to
that's
the
good.
state too.
That's great,
Yeah,
That's wonderful.
that's good, yeah. It's good to have.
What building, where they go?
in the Home Depot Plaza.
That's great.
The end unit, I think was it the same one they had before?
I think it is.
I think it is.
No, so they were all the way on the end.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Next to the,
Before the restaurant.
right next to the.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were excited. They came forward and really wanted to be here, so.
It's all good.
And then there's a much lighter note, but I think equally important is meeting next week with someone to write a grant for trees.
Okay.
And I can certainly see out front here,
Mhm.
you have to get the right trees.
Sure.
Obviously, they can't have groups that grow here, there, and everywhere. It's gonna bring up the sidewalk, but, and there are places around town that we'll identify that we can add to
That's
as well.
I do need to beautify, if we don't beautify, we just keep looking dingy.
Can't always look at, like the other home run, but sometimes it's a single hair, a double there. and all
Well, you
of a
gotta
sudden-
take it as,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, I agree.
So I've really, in the 10 months I've been here, I'm most encouraged now that I've been here to see what the possibilities are and the people who have come to us and want to be here. So, but again, we have to show these results have to come, and then people will hopefully start to leave.
Has anyone approached, and as I have mentioned, with the unknown about trees, so we don't know if it's gonna happen or not, and so it just keeps expanding. So on this side of town, it seems to me that it could be wise to start looking for development of businesses and or parking, shuttling, things that could go with that,
Along
because it's gonna go, it might go. It might not,
I mean,
and it might,
you're right, no, I listen, I agree.
nobody knows, but
It's fine that you bring it up because of possible litigation. There's really nothing I can say about all of that. It's very complicated, for sure.
I just know as economic
And, yeah, oh,
development, should
absolutely.
we be starting to think about
I think we always have to look ahead,
things
for sure.
that may attach itself
Yeah,
to other things?
And that's why too, so I talk about a place that might leave one spot to go to another spot of town, in town. So I've reached out to say, listen, this is what I'm hearing, and if this is gonna happen, please let me know, because before you leave that spot, I want to start
Mm.
reaching out to people and have a game plan. Everything, in addition to those relationships, is preparation. It was a big part of what I used to do, and it's a big part of it now. So things don't change. There isn't, this is exciting, I think. This is of all the things that I'm involved in, this really is exciting,
Yeah,
the most exciting.
I was surprised to see that the Hilton Hotel that went in and did so well.
Yeah.
I thought like, a hotel, you're looking at TJ Maxx and nothing next on the other side. And that place is packed, including just people willing to just get together and rent a room or two per
Yeah.
night, so we could just.
And I think,
Literally, I've
I heard all good things about it,
Yeah,
though.
I went into it,
Yeah.
I didn't see the rooms, but I walked into the lobby just to see what it was about.
I think the projection for Burlington is probably about September.
Mhm.
They're shooting for that. Certainly they want to get to that before you get too far into the fall and have.
Yeah, they're doing work on it.
Yes,
They're starting to work on the side there, they're taking it,
Yep.
repairing it. Yeah, that's gonna be a big help.
Yeah.
How about where the dollar store is? And
Yeah.
Is there anybody looking at taking that whole plaza, I will call it?
so they're going to, those two stores that were Sally Beauty and Working Gear are going to become one.
Okay, that's gonna
And
work.
Sally's gonna move.
Sally's is going across the street, Furnish
Okay.
Road. So Working Gear is, I'm working with them to try and relocate that. And
Oh, they're not going across the street?
they're not
Oh, I
What's
thought.
going in there?
into that, nothing yet.
Okay.
So I spoke with Mike Schaefer. He's talked with a few different people, and he's more superstitious than I am. So a lot of it, he won't share with me as much as I try. So he's working on that piece of it to bring something really good there. And because I asked him, why enlarge it into one? And his view on it from a developer standpoint, that made a lot of sense. So it's about getting the right things in an area, and I think, like in the case of Burlington, I think they're really good for the town. And that's a good spot that kind of beefs up, that area or something. So you're trying to hit, obviously, as many different areas of the town.
Where Circle Lane is.
Yep.
And, of course, the parking lot in front of it. Who owns all that?
I think Mike, the parking, well, he owns the building, Circle Line.
Okay,
So
the parking lot in front of it?
I would assume so.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, have you had the gelato?
Don't touch that, I told you.
What?
Have you,
I'm on leave over there, so.
have you guys
let's
had
do
the
it.
gelato?
No, you know what I mean? I've gone there,
What do you think?
It is really,
I think it's
very
very
good. They've been there about a
Yeah,
year,
yeah,
they've been there
delicious.
about a year.
Yeah.
There is a pothole. Okay,
A
you know what I'm
bottle?
talking
No,
about?
I'm
No,
just
but
saying
there's
a bottle.
one there that's about this deep.
Yeah.
And it must be 3 feet by 4 feet. It's close to where the Brookside is by
Mhm.
the sub shop. I saw a lady hit it there because I walk through there every day. She took out her front end.
So what else?
I don't know who's responsible.
Yeah, I will find out. And what happens
It's
some
an easy
days,
fix.
some days when I can get out, I kind of try to drive around and
Check it out.
and look.
Check it out.
So that might be something, there was something about the brook that came up a while ago. And that might be state owned. I will check tomorrow to make sure. And then, if it's on the state, then certainly reach out to the
Yeah,
state.
you can't miss it. And it's
Yeah.
been like that for 2-3 years now. There were guys parking their 18-wheelers there for a while. They don't do that.
I was just thinking, only because of the two, so there's very few places I can shop. And although it's not, Bosco's has an amazing petite area, like literally. And I was just thinking about the Milford Mall, like are there malls that are enough of a distance away from us to start approaching stores for language?
Yeah, and you'd be surprised too, because there was one restaurant chain that, through a broker I know who had a relationship with them, and they're in West Haven already. And he said, too close. And my argument
Who's
was
in West Haven? Oh, the restaurant?
the restaurant.
Okay, yeah.
And.
So Milford to here too close?
Maybe not, but this is West Haven, so
Okay, yeah.
maybe Milford, not a problem, West Haven.
Right.
And my argument
Sure.
was, yeah, but as you head up the shoreline, there's not another one of those until New London County.
Mhm. Also, the traffic from a little bit after here going towards New York is outrageous. To be able to stop here,
Yeah.
off the highway versus having to go that extra mileage until the person make a big stop.
Yeah, that's funky down there when you start going south.
Oh, yes, every
You know what I mean?
day,
It's like
any time of the day,
going
every
to
day.
Longmore.
Oh, they want one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, when you're 16 years old, you are.
Mhm.
So there, again, there's still places we're working on, the Adrenaline Rush. I spoke to a broker I've been speaking with for about a month and a half now. And again, that was have a relationship with one broker who said, oh, by the way, I know someone who represents, maybe they'd be right for that spot.
Okay.
Called him, and he was like, oh, this might be great because they were looking, they sort of changed their business plan. And so now they're looking for buildings 20 to 30,000 square feet. I said, well, that's 26. And so, waiting, and I've texted the broker a few times. And, finally I just called him. And he said, it's still in the hands of, the ownership. And we're really considering it. But, so I shouldn't talk about it when they're premature, but just so you get a sense of what's happening. It's not just, oh, we have another empty building. Well, let's do something about it. You can sit there and complain about it, or you can try and do something about it, and that's my approach.
Good. We want to bring more businesses to town. Is 990 or has anyone taken advantage of the tax incentive?
For $9.90?
Yeah. Has anyone else?
I don't know.
Explored it with
We
the
have,
town?
yes, and, obviously, there's a program to try and help, and I think one of the other things, John, you would know more again too about, but in changing some of the zoning with an eye on promoting business, right? That's certainly the plans, and, maybe we can have Joe Boudreau join us,
That'd be good.
sometime this week, but I wanted to rely on John's expertise here with some of that, so.
I knew there was conversation about the tax incentives.
Yeah.
I don't know,
If anyone's ever
yeah,
taken advantage of it
if
yet.
things have come together.
Has it drawn more businesses in the town is what I'm curious about.
I know that it has yet. I know we get asked about it. And when I first started, I spoke with someone in building about it that said, yeah, we indeed have a program. One of the things that they also changed to try to encourage mixed use, I guess there was a point where we didn't allow mixed use or didn't want mixed use. And now it's good.
I will tell you that the current commission is more proactive and more accommodating and more business friendly. Always with the viewpoint of what's best for the town and the people. And then does this particular business work in town, sort of thing.
And in good coordination with the CBA.
Yeah. Well, there's no need for ZBA if it comes in front of the
Comes in front of
planning
you.
and zoning.
But, know where the old town line grill used to be, the
Sure.
bar?
Yep.
Did you ever, I think it was just before, there's a lot there. Beautiful lot.
Well, it's-
Very little site work to be done. I think somebody that owns one of the old houses there, but that'd be an ideal place for something.
Mhm.
A good restaurant or whatever, you know.
And
But I don't know if
listen,
anybody's ever approached them.
don't know, but like these ideas, feel free anytime to
Yeah,
call
check
me,
it out next
email
time.
me, text me.
Yeah.
As I'll look at that, listen, you'd be stupid not to, just like on this call, someone said that some of the brokers are frustrated that they've called the economic development people in different towns and are not getting a return call.
Oh, wow.
So I got on, I said, that's crazy, I would never not do that.
Right.
So that's why, again, trying to get, to build our relationship with brokers around the area and to say, listen, this is a new era. It's this is a new administration and there's new thinking, and new goals, so.
We did have a great lunch a couple of years back at Lobster Shack, and we invited every economic developer and a lot of the brokers from neighboring areas, and a lot of people were standing in Lobster Shack saying, "Oh my God, this is beautiful here."
Yeah.
So maybe something like
Yeah.
that again would make sense
Yep.
to host it here.
You know where John and Maria's is?
Yeah.
I think it's when you come out of the high school, and that road that goes into Mapleville, what's that road?
River Road.
River Road?
River
River Road.
Yeah.
Right after, there's on the corner there's a dilapidated house. It's probably around there. That's all commercial.
On River Road?
On the, if you're going into River on the right next to John and Maria's.
Okay. Oh, I
That's a
know what you
site-
mean.
That's a site for development, for, somebody that's got a nice little sub shop or whatever, maybe not that, but you know where I'm going.
Yeah, I have to see.
That's a nice, because I look at the house and the house is,
There's a good chance that it's residential zone.
oh, you think so?
Yeah, that's a mishmash through that area.
Yeah, it's all over the place. Huh?
It is. But I think
But we're
we've,
friendly.
Well, you said that, yeah.
yeah, well, and I think under Boudreaux, there's much more freedom or opportunities to do text amendments that, when we can, we'll change it to allow, more business in a given area.
Right.
So, there's this big master plan that, we're just, there's a long way to go, but I honestly like some of the possibilities that are, again, if they come to fruition.
Well, I'm holding you to it.
I want you to. I want people to hold me to this.
Just joking.
No, absolutely.
No, you're doing a good job.
Good stuff. So I guess we'll move on to any other business that should come before the commission. We batted around a lot of stuff, yeah. Next is public comment. I know we were going to have someone on Zoom that we do not, so we'll move on from that. And I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 7:45. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.